Do you have a habit of projecting past relationships onto current ones? It's actually very common and also understandable. The most important thing is to be aware of whether it's happening or not. A perfect example would be if you had a certain dynamic with a parent growing up, and you are either trying to change that dynamic specifically with your child, or you are projecting the same feelings or thoughts that your parents projected on you. It's something to be aware of. We want to make sure that we're avoiding carrying past relationships into current ones that might have entirely different circumstances. And yet we are creating mind stories around how our child might feel because you felt that way as a child, or even as a parent now, you're trying to make up for things that didn't quite add up in your childhood. And yet your child is not actually suffering. So it's super important to recognize this. The same is true for romantic relationships or even work partners. We want to make sure that we are treating that relationship with a blank slate. There's a big difference between taking what we've learned in former relationships and learning and growing in the next one versus taking negative experiences and creating assumptions in newer relationships. The first approach can enhance our new relationship, and the second one can actually impair it. So the key here is to treat each person or each situation uniquely and recognize it has its own storyline and avoid projecting.